Hi, my name is Mike Campbell, and I am the CEO of a company called Gearloons, and we're going to try a little something different this evening. Some of you may already be familiar with me, but if you're not, just to give you a little background on myself, I've been a home brewer for 15 years. I mostly do all grain brewing and have done that for about the last 8 years. But we're doing a beer review tonight, and this is the first time I wanted to try a video format versus a written format, just to see what people thought of it and to try something new and different. A lot of us have webcams, and I'm sure I could do a better visual presentation, but I thought it might be fun to try it a little bit more eh, low key, down to earth, whatever. And tonight we're going to do a beer called Hoptober Golden Ale. Pull that up by New Belgian Brewery, or brewing company, and I'm going to do an actual beer review, just like I do on our show, Brew for You. And instead of me writing it down and we do an audio version, but writing it down and putting it on the blog, I thought it'd be fun to try a video camera, see what happens. So we're going to pour this in here real quick, and we're going to check a few things out. First and foremost, color-wise, as you can pretty much see, we have it's darker than straw, but it's basically lighter than golden. So this is a darker straw colored beer. We have an ivory head on it that is fairly thick. I didn't pour the whole glass, and the reason why is when you're doing tastings, you typically don't do large samples. Uh, I could pour the whole bottle in here, but that's really not the point of what we're trying to do, and I didn't feel it was necessary to do that. So but we have a thick head with a medium density bubble. I like to point that out. Video format, I guess I don't have to, but and head color is ivory, like I said before. In the aroma, you are hit with a lot of citrus, a lot of hop comes through very strong, which makes sense because it's called Hoptober. And very citrusy, probably the use of Centennial hops or Cascade might be used. My guess is Centennial because it is fairly hoppy that way. Not much as far as the malt is concerned in the aroma. Mostly citrus. A little kind of grassy notes, things like that. But very kind of down to earth smell, very American aroma. Uh, Things that you'd expect from an American beer. Let's taste it. You're initially hit by the hops. Again, um, very citrusy, very in the palate. Again, reminds me a lot of Centennial. I didn't look this beer up ahead of time, so I don't know what's in it. I try not to for beer reviews because I feel that's kind of cheating. And in this particular case, we're definitely dealing with a hoppy style beer. Um, I don't believe there's an actual category. They don't list. I don't believe anything on here, well, other than it's a golden ale. Oh, and I am right. Cascade and Centennial are both used along with Sterling, Wilmette, and Glacier hops. I guess that's what happens when you actually read the side of the bottle, which I haven't done. But very similar to most American pale ales. Nice malt backbone. This is a beer that's supposed to be hop forward, so you notice the bitterness, you notice the flavor of the hops, but there is enough grain and malt in this beer to really balance things a little bit, make sure that it's not just all about the bitterness. So you do get a little bit of the malt background as well. Excuse me, it didn't work too well. A little too much to drink in the mouth, but grain wise, maltiness. It's kind of hard to pick out because you you notice so much of the hops in this beer? I suppose you could say, you know, slightly caramel notes. I don't know if that's the best term, but the malt being used is a little bit later, so it allows the hops to be the dominant star in this beer. On a hop scale, this beer is definitely probably a 7 out of 10, which for us is what we call above average hops. It doesn't mean they use more or less um, that the hops become much better or anything like that. It just means there's more of them, and it's more than the average beer that's out there. So it's about a 7 out of 10. So it is a fairly hoppy beer. And body wise, we're talking a fairly light, medium light bodied beer. It's not too heavy, anything like that. Balance wise, this beer is definitely on the hoppy side. It's not toward the malty or sweetness. It's definitely hoppy or bitter. Overall, nice beer, very easy drinking, very enjoyable beer. But I do have to say it is hoppy. So if you're not into bitterness and that type of thing in your beers, you're probably not going to get into this one. But for those that like the pale ales, the IPAs, things like that, you'll probably enjoy this beer. It does have a lot of flavor, and it does have a lot of good taste to it, with enough grain complexity to really, you know, kind of like I say, kind of be in the background. The hops are the star, but these are kind of like the background singers or the dancers. So, nice beer. Definitely would recommend it, especially to anyone who's into hops. It does say on the side of the bottle, which is nice of them, that it is 40 IBUs, which is would be on the upper end of a pale ale, but lower end of an IPA. This is definitely more toward a pale ale. It's not a blow your head off type of hop scenario. So definitely nice beer. Good job by New Belgian Brewing Company. Again, my name is Mike Campbell with a company called Beer Loons. Love you to check us out at beerloons.com. And thanks a lot for watching tonight. You have a good night.